It is a picture that will long be remembered in thoroughbred racing. For many, the race of the year, the stretch drive of the 1987 Haskell Invitational at Monmouth Park.
Stretch they come. Ben Twice has the lead ahead. Lost Cold on the inside, hanging tough. Ali Sheba tries to gain ground. 3 of them at the wire. It's going to be a photo.
There they were, the Belmont winner Ben Twice, first by a neck. Kentucky Derby and Preakness winner Ali Sheba second. And just one more neck back to the winner of a record equaling 4 derbies, Lost Code. Now we return to the Jersey Shore and to Monmouth Park, looking for another racing memory at the Haskell Invitational. Budweiser racing across America. Today, live from Monmouth Park in Oceanport, New Jersey. It's the 21st running of the Haskell Invitational. This ESPN sports presentation is brought to you by Budweiser, proud sponsor of the U.S. Olympic team. This Bud's for you. By the Thoroughbred Racing Association, assuring the highest racing standards. By Keeneland, source of the classic horse. 3 Chimneys, the idea is excellence. And by the Breeders' Cup, racing's $10 million championship. Stay tuned. The Grade 1 $500,000 Haskell Invitational is coming up next.
Every day, Jack Taylor and Joe Donovan take the same road home. But today, they went a little out of their way.
Hey, what do you think? Give you a hand?
To you, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers.
This Bud,
for all the guys who go out of their way.
This Bud's for you.
Due process. It's a total commitment. From the Stallion Barn with the roster that features the International Stallion Hello Gorgeous, Grade 1 Stakes winner 5-Star Flight, multiple stakes winner Vittorioso, and Lobsang, sire of multiple graded stakes winner Irish Bear. To the broodmare barns in the foaling barn, to the racetrack and the winner's circle, we're Due Process, and you have our total commitment. Due Process Stables, Cold Neck, New Jersey, where winning comes first.
For the jockey, as one race finishes, the next begins. His business is winning. His preparation, deliberate. But the key to winning is teamwork. The jockey and the thoroughbred. The best team in sports. See the best team in sports at a track near you.
Presenting the Cardiff Stud Farms of California. This world-class thoroughbred facility is the Cardiff Stud Farms of California.
Monmouth Park, it's a proud part of racing history. In fact, racing here at the Jersey Shore can be traced back to just after the Civil War. But Monmouth Park, as we know her today, was the product of the vision and dedication of Amory L. Haskell. He opened this facility in 1946, and today, 22 years after his death, he would be very proud of the event that now carries his name, the Haskell Invitational. And hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln as we welcome you to the Jersey Shore and to Monmouth Park, one of our favorite stops on our Budweiser Racing Across America series here on ESPN. Working with us today are experts, Pete Axelm's in the paddock. Dave Johnson's already upstairs getting ready to make the call to the Haskell later on for you. You know, the Haskell of '87 is still very clear in people's memories here. We thought you might like an update on how those 3 magnificent warriors of a year ago did. Well, Ali Sheba right now, of course, after winning the Big Cap and the Strube earlier this year, is over $4.1 million in earnings. He's in California doing nicely, thank you. Bet twice, of course, the star of the Pimlico Special. He now has gone over $3.1 million in earnings. And since he left the Jersey Shore to race, Lost Code has gone over $2 million. Bet Twice was just on this track, in fact, the other day for a bullet 59 3, 5 furlong work at Monmouth Park. That's his home track. He was third in his last out at the United Nations, and that was his first test on grass, his first under the lights. They say now that Bet Twice is being pointed for another big race here at Monmouth Park, the Grade 1 Island, August 27th, and will be here. Meanwhile, on the other coast, Ali Sheba in California in training at Hollywood Park. After 3 firsts and 1 second in 5 starts this year, the #1 goal for the Jack Van Berg-trained Ali Sheba this fall's Breeders' Cup. Lost Code is also here at Monmouth Park, where he just returned from having successful knee surgery, again removing chips from his left knee. Winner this year, the Oak Lawn Razorback, Massachusetts Handicaps and Michigan Mile. He's also pointed for November and Louisville, the Breeders' Cup. Let's give you our race schedule now here this afternoon at Monmouth Park, featuring, of course, our Grade 1 Haskell Invitational, the feature race on a great race card today, 7 stakes on the 11-race program. Then we'll go to Belmont for the Sword Dancer Handicap, and we'll also recap for you the International Amateur Riders' Cup. Before we get into racing, though, we'd like to ask for a little bit of your help. We're going to put a phone number on the screen. This is our 4th year at Thoroughbred Sports, bringing you the nation's top thoroughbred races. We'd like to ask you to take part in the survey for us. If you'll call that number, 1-800-544-1494, we'll send you a Racing Across America questionnaire. With our confidential survey, we'll also send you a choice here, a free gift. Your choice of the official Budweiser Racing Across America lapel pin or a Thoroughbred Sports money clip. And if you're among the first 1,000 to call that 1-800-544-1494 number, or in Oklahoma, collect at 918-836-4512, we'll put your name in a special drawing for 2 free tickets for the Breeders' Cup Day. Tickets only for the big showdown in thoroughbred racing, November 5th. Well, that's what you have to do, that 800 number, remember that. Now we have to get to work with the conditions of the Haskell Invitational. It is the Grade 1, 21st running, $500,000 on the line, 1 1/8 mile away from the starting gate for the 3-year-olds by invitation only, and this is by handicap weight conditions. Now, to meet the field, let's go trackside to my colleague, Dave Johnson, as we prepare to make some more Haskell memories with this year's field. Dave?
Well, if you're asking what's in a name as you look over the field for the Haskell, it won't take you long to see that there's a common theme with 2 of our stars, appropriately named Seeking the Gold and 49er, are both by the same sire, Mr. Prospector, who's out of the mare Gold Digger. Now, as a racehorse, Mr. Prospector won only 2 stakes races, the Whirlaway and the Gravesend, in a 14-race career, but he had brilliant early speed, and as a sire, he is dynamite. If you have a mare, and it better be a good one, it's going to cost you about $250,000 for 1 breeding service to Mr. Prospector with no guarantee. But just consider that he's the daddy of not only Seeking the Gold and 49er, but Gulch and Tanks Prospect, It's in the Air, Magambo, A Fleet, and Conquistador Cielo, so you see what kind of a hot sire he is. And the outcome of the Haskell today is important not just for the winner, but for the reputation of the sire. Let's take a look at the full field. #1, Evening Chris, scratched. The 2-horse 49er is the starting morning line choice at 8 to 5, 126 pounds, the co-top weight, and Lafitte Pinkai Jr. in from California for the ride. The lightweight in the field, Teddy Drone, carrying only 112, the 3-horse ridden by Julie Crone at 30. Seeking the Gold second choice at 5 to 2, 125 pounds, 1 pound less than the top 2 in Pat Day rides. 3 to 1, the starting price on the 5-horse, Private Terms, co-top weight 126, and Kent DeSormo the rider. And completing the field, the 5 to 1 shot Primal at 117 pounds, and the jockey, Mike Gonzalez. Well, one of my daily rituals is checking the calendar with my horoscope on it. Well, for Saturday, July the 30th, it says, don't take risks on your own. Consult a trusted advisor before making a financial plunge. That could mean only one thing. Pete Axtell, what should I do today?
Dave, if you want horoscopes, call the White House. I can't help you with that, but I did go to a source who really knows something about what's going to happen today. The man who is, most of us take the overnight flight from the coast to the East Coast, and all we get is red eyes and dirty shirts. Lafitte Pinkai gets Belmont victories, other outstanding victories. Lafitte, you going to bag another today?
Well, I hope so. I think we got a good chance. The horse looks good. He ran great last time, and I hope for him to improve of that race. And I think he's going to be very tough to beat today.
In effect, 49er is a new horse. He got a wonderful freshening after the Preakness and just has blossomed around the barn. And, of course, he's getting a new rider. You haven't ridden him before. How do you anticipate the marriage will work? Have you discussed it much with Woody yet?
Well, I just did. I just talked to him. He wanted me to ride him. You know, he already told me how to ride him. And it seems like the horse is easy horse to ride. And I just hope that he breaks good and don't get trapped or anything. You know, it's going to be tough.
I think that's the big question strategists are looking at. Both you and Pat Day, I know both Woody and Shug would prefer to be laying second and make a burst to the lead. But it seems one of you is going to have to be on the lead. How's that cat and mouse game going to go, do you think?
That's right. I just going to wait and see how he breaks. I think he can be on the lead in an easy lead, or if somebody goes out there and want to really make the lead, then I can lay second. That's what Woody and me just discussed. So we're just going to wait and see how he breaks from the gate.
Dave, I hope that gave you more help than you would have gotten from a horoscope. And it's nice to see Lafitte back in the Claiborne Silks. Brings back great memories of Swale. Lafitte, thanks for being with us. Chris, back to you.
Thank you, Peter. On Wednesday, August the 3rd, Saratoga opens its 121st season of racing, the America's oldest racetrack. And, of course, the keeper of all the historic memorabilia of thoroughbred racing, the National Racing Museum. Here's a look from the TRA in Monmouth Park.
At 6 a.m., when Hall of Fame trainer Charlie Whittingham approaches the track, the grounds are quiet. But by post time this afternoon, in Saratoga Springs, New York, there's another kind of transformation taking place, designed to turn the venerable National Museum into an exciting modern showcase of thoroughbred racing in America, with lifelike recreations of actual racing scenes. Among them will be this famous shed row at Santa Anita, where Whittingham prepares for yet another racing season.
I think the National Museum is doing great things for racing, and which we need. A museum where people come to Saratoga, they can see what's happened so many, many years ago in racing and at the present time.
New museum displays will put racing fans right into the action with Hall of Fame greats like Willie Shoemaker.
I think that it will be a great experience for the museum visitors because it gives you an insight into racing that they probably don't get standing at the track. I mean, you feel like you're there and you're part of it and you're doing it yourself.
The National Museum of Racing and Hall of Fame, capturing the thrill of thoroughbred racing for all America. Be a part of racing history. Contribute $25 to the Museum Renovation Fund and receive gifts, including a handsome cloisonne pin, quarterly newsletter, admission to participating TRA tracks, and information about the museum's gala inaugural event.
When we come back to Monmouth Park, a special look at our Haskell top contenders and a wide-open three-row picture. Back in a moment.
Lighting by design. That's what you'll find at Westchester Electric. We're the experts dedicated to working with you, helping to design lighting for your individual needs and budget. We also carry the full line of GE bulbs as well, offering an incredible selection of newly designed fluorescents in a multiple of colors, bulbs that are energy efficient, and bulbs designed for atmosphere lighting. For residential interior to landscape lighting, choose the design specialists with over 62 years of experience. Westchester Electric on East Market Street in Westchester.
Time magazine has put together a very special free gift for subscribing. It starts with something everyone needs. A telephone with automatic redial, a ringer shut-off switch, and a mute button. But when you're on the phone, it makes sense to have a calendar handy. So we've added a permanent calendar. And when you need the date, you often need the time, too. So we've included a digital clock. And then for all those important messages, we've built in a memo pad, which means you'll need a place for your pen or pencil. So here's a pen and pencil holder. It all adds up to the Ultronic 4-in-1 phone center, and it's free with your paid subscription to Time. Call this number and enjoy 26 weeks of Time for more than 40% off the cover price, payable in 3 monthly installments of just $9.89 each. Call 1-800-284-4500 now. It's the most remarkable offer Time has ever assembled, including this handsome 4-in-1 phone center, free.
Golf could be the most frustrating sport of all. Even the pros struggle some days, then succeed the next. Follow all the ups and downs inside the PGA Tour every Tuesday on ESPN.
Welcome back, and along the rail, some of the spectators here at Monmouth Park. You see some of the bright green hats here. The Haskell Invitational caps are giving away today here. And we're about ready to go over Pete Axel and the paddock area. Is going to be talking a bit with Woody Stevens. Let's go now back to the paddock area. And Pete with a man you'll recognize in racing. Pete?
We're ready with Woody. Thanks, Chris. Here with Woody Stevens. Woody, after the Preakness, there was a lot of talk that both 49er and Winning Colors would be knocked out for the year by that duel. Your thoughts?
Well, my horse, I knew I rode him wrong after the race because he just don't want to be hurried that much. But anyway, he needed some time. I gave it to him. And he came back to run a big mile for me, and he's been doing awfully well since his race.
And when you say doing awfully well, it seems remarkable. I mean, I've been around your barn. This horse looked like a wrung-out horse after the Preakness, and 2 weeks later, it looked like he's jumping out of his skin around there. What's your secret?
Well, he snaps back quick, but this horse had a rough winter. In Florida, Lexington, Louisville, tough race to Derby. Then, of course, the Preakness going head and up the filly didn't do him any good. But now, I think he's heavier possibly ever been in his life and looks better to me.
Well, against Seeking the Gold, obviously the big question, and I've already asked Lafitte this, but I'd be curious to hear your answer. I mean, I know both you and Shug McGahee would probably prefer to be laying second and make that burst of the lead like you did in the track record performance. But one of you is going to have to end up on the lead. Which one's it going to be?
Well, I think I might be in front, but I won't be in front by far. Because I just come out of the room and I've told Lafitte that I don't want this horse opening up and I don't want him moving too quick on him. If he's in front by half a length, he has to be, that's fine. If he's got some horse head and head, that's okay. If something leading him, that's okay.
And what's the final instructions? Bring him back to you?
Don't move too quick.
Okay. If there's somebody more can tell you, someone more can tell you about the strategy camp of 49er, Chris, I'd like to find them. Back to you.
Thank you, Pete. The big question in thoroughbred racing now is who will take over as the new king of the 3-year-old division. Just a week ago, ABC Sports announced Risen Star, winner of the Preakness and the Belmont, has been retired, going on to Walmack International to start his second career. So now it opens again. Can a horse who won both legs of the Triple Crown hang on to the 3-year-old division? Could he lose the championship? We posed those questions to Dave Johnson, and he found the answers.
Risen Star shocked even his most ardent followers with the authority of his Belmont win. Reaching into the history books, we found 8 colts who won 2 legs of the Triple Crown, but failed to win the 3-year-old championship. 1972 was the last year it happened. On the turn for home in the Belmont Stakes, Kentucky Derby winner Riva Ridge pulled away from Key to the Mint and went on to win easily. But at year's end, it was Key to the Mint who was voted 3-year-old champion. And Riva Ridge joined the list that included Pensive, Middle Ground, and Majestic Prince as 2-time Classic winners who were denied the championship of their division. Key to the Mint earned his championship on the racetrack. Here, he was defeating Riva Ridge in the showdown battle, the 1972 Woodworth. For today's participants, taking the title from the now retired Risen Star would require a long winning streak that would have to culminate in a victory over older horses in the Breeders' Cup Classic in November. The trio with the best chance begins with 49er, last year's 2-year-old champion, who has proven to be one of the most consistent performers in the sport. His 2-turn mile just 2 weeks ago, in 1 minute 33 4/5 seconds, broke a Monmouth Park record that had stood for 31 years. In his 14-race career, 49er has 8 wins and 4 seconds, good for earnings of over $1 million. Now take a look at Private Terms, who won his first 7 starts and came into the run for the roses as the only undefeated horse in this year's Derby field. He failed to fire as the favorite, but seems back on his game now. The Wood Memorial was perhaps his best race as he closed stoutly through the stretch to beat Seeking the Gold in excellent time. Seeking the Gold was another hot shot early in the year, winning his first 4 starts. Private Terms beat him twice in a row in April, but he seems to have matured recently. In the Dwyer, he met a stiff test from Evening Chris at the 16th pole, but was going away at the wire. Seeking the Gold's trainer, Shug McGahee, knows what his colt will have to do in order to get into the championship picture.
If we win the Haskell and we win the Travers, I still think we have some work left to do. Where it'll be, you know, I don't know. The Woodward New York will be a possibility. Super Derby will be a possibility. Breeders' Cup will be a possibility. But I do think that we would have some things to do. The credentials on Risen Star are tremendous.
And here comes the 2-year-old champion of a year ago, 49er. Could he be a 3-year-old champion? He's got some work to do. It could start today. Back in a moment.
Hi. I've been looking all over for this terrific video cassette I heard about. It's called The All-New Not-So-Great Moments in Sports. There's scenes where Darryl Dawkins renovates NBA backboards.
That's a fantastic video. The all-new Not-So-Great Moments in Sports is 45 minutes of the funniest film I've ever seen.
Great, so you have it.
No store has this version, but you get it free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. You get 25 weeks of SI, including the Pro Football Preview, the beautiful swimsuit issue, the Summer Olympic Special issue, the commemorative Olympic pin set,
and the all-new Not-So-Great Moments in Sports?
You get it all. Just call Sports Illustrated's toll-free number, and you'll get SI for over 47% off the cover price. Just 3 monthly installments of $9.89 each. You can even use a credit card.
I gotta get to a phone. What's that number again?
Here, 1-800-777-2100.
Hi, have you heard of a video cassette called The All-New Not-So-Great Moments in Sports?
I should have bought a Frigidaire.
There's only one Frigidaire.
I should have bought a Frigidaire.
Ask for it by name.
I'll take the Frigidaire. Now.
Frigidaire. Here today, here tomorrow.
Burning, itching, cracking, peeling. These are the symptoms of athlete's foot that can stop you in your tracks. But Desenex actually cures athlete's foot and puts you back in the running. Desenex, the classic cure for athlete's foot.
On land or by sea, ESPN's Running and Racing covers America's top athletes as they prepare for the Olympic Games. Running and Racing, Friday nights on ESPN.
Welcome back to Monmouth Park, here in the paddock, and I'm with the queen of Monmouth Park, indeed the queen of all thoroughbred racing, Julie Crone. And you had to steal the thunder from the Haskell. They had a bunch of stakes on the card today. Julie has not only won 4 races today, she's won 4 stakes. Why do you do it, Julie? You can give somebody else a chance?
Today I was very fortunate. You know, it's horse racing, not jockey racing. And I rode some very good horses today for very good trainers. And that's how it worked out. And all the races set up how I expected. And the horses really fired big. And just find myself fortunate to ride for people that win.
Well, I noticed you rode the hair off a couple of them, too. You're a little too modest sometimes, Julie. But you're riding Teddy Drone today, a long shot. But last time you had the thrill, had to be one of the great thrills of your career, riding 49er in a prep for this race. Describe how you felt. I know when you came back, you told me you were surprised that he had set a record.
Kind of take it back a little bit. It was just a little allowance race, but it was probably one of the most exciting moments of my whole life. You know how your blood runs like Kool-Aid kind of in the moment, and just being on a great horse for a great horse trainer, and also involved with some great owners and people that have a lot to do with racing. And it was very fortunate that I had an opportunity, and I wish him luck today.
Well, thanks for visiting with us, Julie, and it's always great to be here with the unconditioned, unquestioned queen of the turf. And to give you an idea, she's riding a horse that I think should be probably 40 to 1. It's 11 to 1 at the moment. Julie, you're magic. Thank you. Chris?
Thank you, Peter. We're going to take a break from the Haskell for a moment to go to Belmont Park. Earlier this afternoon, the running of the Sword Dancer. Sword Dancer, quite a history himself. 1959, three-year-old champion and champion handicap horse, also horse of the year. This race bears his name, Grade 1, $200,000 at it, a mile and a half for those three-year-old and up. Let's take a look at the field now of older mares and fillies. The Tom Skipping entry, Anchor Germania and Glarus at 7-2. The favorite, interestingly, is the only three-year-old in this field, Sunshine Forever at even money. The son of Roberto, winner of 5 with 1 second in 6 starts this year. The number 3 horse, Classic Move, was scratched. It's Malicious at 7-1. Then the second choice, Carotene, leading money earner in the field, better than $1.2 million for the 5-year-old mare. Hamza at 10-1, the 6th horse, and then it's Heritance. Now for the call of the Sword Dancer earlier this afternoon at Belmont. We pick it up at the far turn, and here's Marshall Cassidy at Belmont Park.
Outside, second by a length and a half. Hamza still there in third with Sunshine Forever and Anchor Germania. Anchor Germania moving up on the outside now takes third. They around the far turn. Glarus by a head on the outside. Carotene second by a half farther out. Anchor Germania is third. The mile 41 and 2. Glarus still leads the way. Carotene on the outside, still second. And farther out is Anchor Germania, third by 3. Sunshine Forever remains far back and forth, but is now moving to the outside. They're in the stretch. Anchor Germania gets the lead by about a neck. Carotene remains in second. Sunshine Forever now third. Glarus on the rail back into fourth, then Hamza. They're at the 16th pole. Anchor Germania leading by 3, and Sunshine Forever is second. Anchor Germania has the lead.
So Anchor Germania over a soft turf course this afternoon at Belmont, 2:32-1 wins it. The 3-year-old Sunshine Forever running second to the 6-year-old mare. Sunshine Forever owned by Darby Dan Farm, trained by John Veach, finishing second, 2:82.10, and Carotene finishing third, 2:20. Expect all 3 of those to get invitations to the Rich Arlington Million coming up in 3 weeks. Well, we want to update you now on some of the racing news from California. You know, this is the time of year when the 2-year-olds are starting to run, when some of the stallions are starting to be made. And we'll take a look now at our Cardiff, California update as we take a look at some of the action from California's thoroughbred racing. There's a tremor rumbling through the California breeding community, and it's coming from Cardiff's millionaire stallion, Desert Wine. Within a 5-day period, Desert Wine had 3 runners from his first crop of 2-year-olds win at 3 different racetracks and on 2 continents. In the first week of this month, right here at Monmouth Park, his son Desert Boy won. Earlier in the week, a daughter of Desert Wine, Miss Song Trey, finished first at Churchill Downs. And while Desert Wine galloped in his paddock in California, across the Atlantic, another of his fillies, Zerera, won on the turf at Great Britain's Windsor Race Course. A victory that's added her to the string of winners, making a name for Desert Wine in this week's Cardiff, California Racing Update. The riders are off in the paddock area at the Haskell. 49er, 4-5, the first choice, seeking the gold at 5-2. Private Terms, 5-2.
Many years, they've carried our beer. A special breed. Delivering a special brand. Today, the Clydesdales also carry a message. One of consistency, care, of natural ingredients and exclusive beechwood aging, which give Budweiser that distinctively clean, crisp taste. The Clydesdales. Today, they carry our message of quality.
At this very moment, throughout the world, horses from the Keeneland Sales in Lexington, Kentucky, horses such as John Henry, Spectacular Bid, Alleged, The Minstrel, Sharif Dancer, Ali Sheba, and Bet Twice are winning the classic races, making racing history. And it all begins here at the Keeneland Sales in Lexington, Kentucky. Source of the classic winner.
It covers 3,000 acres. It includes a 1,200-acre game preserve stocked with trophy, native, and exotic wildlife. More than 1,000 acres of irrigated pastures fed by the Nueces River and Espantosa Creek. Something this big, this unique, could only be offered in Texas. Presenting for sale the Crawford Farms of Carrizo Springs, Dimmitt County, Texas, 115 miles southwest of San Antonio. For those big enough to dream and plan for Texas pari-mutuel racing, Crawford Farms is potentially the finest equine breeding and training facility in the world. Included is a 65,000 square foot indoor arena, along with mare and stud barns and 100 stalls. The centerpiece is this luxurious Spanish-style stucco estate that stretches the length of a football field. Crawford Farms offered at $16 million, including all mineral rights, equipment, home furnishings, art, and gun collections. Brokers will be protected. Crawford Farms, for those big enough to dream.
Desert Wine, a solid Grade 1 stakes performer. At 2, the Hollywood Juvenile. At 3, runner-up in the Kentucky Derby and Preakness. At 4, the Hollywood Gold Cup win over John Henry. Desert Wine, a leading son of Damascus at Cardiff Stud Farms, California.
Back at Monmouth, the horses have headed for the track. Jimmy Bracken, trainer of Primal, has stayed behind for just a moment, and maybe kind of fitting because Primal's a horse. He's been a slow developer, but it seems to be getting better all the time.
Yeah, he's come along pretty good, Pete. I think right now he's at his best.
Are you feeling pretty confident that you get a piece of it anyway?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, let's go back to Chris for the post parade.
Thank you, Pete. They're getting ready to make the turn for the post parade. The folks here still like 49er at 4-5. Seeking the Gold is 5-2, as is Private Terms. Let's introduce you now to the field for the 1988 Haskell Invitational. It starts with the 2-year-old champion 49er. Second by a neck in the Derby. 7th in the Preakness. First or second, 12 of 14 lifetime starts. He's never won, though, at this distance or further at 1 mile and an 1/8. Lafitte Pinkai Jr. is the rider. He is on the first time ever on 49er. Racing's all-time leading money-winning jockey at $128 million is Mount Severn. He is the 4-5 favorite. The number 2 horse, here's the real long shot, Teddy Drone. The story here ridden by Julie Crone. This is a $40,000 claimer on the board 7 of 8 times this year. Didn't break his maiden until April. 3rd in the Spend-a-Buck Stakes. Open on the morning line at 30-1, but because of this young lady who's riding, Julie Crone, he is now down to 11-1. She's the leading Monmouth rider. She's won 4 stakes on the day today. The number 4 horse, the Brilliant, Seeking the Gold in the famed Phipps colors. He's won his last 2 starts. The Peter Pan and the Dwyer was 7th in the Kentucky Derby, 2nd to Private Terms in the Wood and the Gotham, has been 1st or 2nd 8 of 9 starts, and right now is at 5-2. Pat Day is the rider, the Eclipse Award winner in 84, 85, and 87. Last year, Pat, the leading rider at Oaklawn, Arlington, Keeneland, and Churchill Downs. Here is Private Terms. Private Terms won his first 7 starts of his career, including the Gotham and the Wood. He is now the 2-1 second choice. He was 9th in the Kentucky Derby, 4th in the Preakness, just won the Governor's Handicap at Pimlico by 7 lengths. And he is going to be ridden by Kent DeSormo. He won the Eclipse last year as the nation's top apprentice. His mounts have already earned over $3 million this year. Winding up the field, Primal, the Bay Gelding, won the Spend-a-Buck Stakes here, his first stakes victory. July the 12th, he beat King Post by 7 lengths in that one. He has been 2nd in the Arkansas and the Ohio Derbies. Primal, the 6th horse on the board, is at 11-1. Mike Gonzalez is the rider, has been a regular Calder rider, a champion at Calder. He has been 1st or 2nd, Mike has, on all 6 of his trips on Primal. There is the field for the 21st running of the Haskell Invitational, $500,000 on the line. And we'll be back with the Budweiser Long Shot.
Lane's End Farm, Versailles, Kentucky, salutes the classic summer challenge, the 21st running of the Haskell Invitational. Lane's End is proud to be the breeder of last year's Haskell winner, Bet Twice. Bet Twice, who won this year's renewal of the Pimlico Special, has now earned over $3 million and will stand upon his retirement from racing at Lane's End.
Hull & Smith Horse Fans, a service for horsemen by horsemen. For over 2 decades, the people of Hull & Smith have set the standards in the business of transporting horses. Gene and Judy Hull head up a staff of full-time experienced professionals. We provide expert personal handling, superb accommodations, and the finest in safe, modern equipment. We ship your horses anytime, anywhere, safely and dependably. At Hull & Smith, it's our tradition and our commitment.
Get on the fast track to fun, 'cause the excitement's just begun. Ellis Park is a place with no time to waste. Now come on.
Last year's Gardenia Stakes provided one of Ellis Park's most thrilling finishes, and this year's race promises more of the same. Nominate your filly or mare for the $150,000 Grade 3 Gardenia Stakes.
Get on the fast track to fun at Ellis Park.
August sizzles with sports excitement on ESPN. The NFL is back. See 4 live preseason showdowns. And golf swings into its final Grand Slam event, the PGA Championship. August serves up great tennis. Olympic hopefuls going all out in tune-ups for the summer games. And auto racing from the world's most prestigious tracks. Plus, live Wednesday night PGA Tour action. The heat is on in August on ESPN.
Welcome back to Monmouth Park. You see the starting gate at the 8th pole, 1 mile and 1/8 away from the finish, and let's update you on the odds. Evening Chris, the one horse was scratch. 49ers now even money's been the favorite all along. Teddy Drone at 12-1, Seeking the Goal 5-2. Now, third choice Private Terms is 2-1. The second choice Primal 12-1. With us is Chuck Bodoni. He's the man who makes the line here, the track handicapper. Chuck, you expressed some surprise. Private Terms is now second choice ahead of Seeking the Goal.
Right, I thought Seeking the Goal would be the second choice. He's been awfully sharp, and I know that Sugar's talked about how much better he is now than he's ever been before. Now, of course, Private Terms is second time Lasix, and that's been kind of an important thing. He won on Lasix last time, but sometimes the heat can compromise the Lasix, so it may not be as effective for him today, but he's still a good, strong horse. But I kind of thought Seeking the Goal would be the second choice, and I like him second. But I still like 49er. I think he's got the great speed. I think he's going to go to the lead, and they're all going to have to catch him because I don't think anybody can keep up with him early.
All right, Chuck, that's 49er is his pick. How about a Budweiser long shot on today's card? Well, here is our pick, the Bud long shot for the Haskell.
Today's Budweiser long shot is Primal, a rapidly improving Tartan stable homebred who may not have the fancy press clippings, but he could have the right stuff to post an upset in the Haskell. Primal first earned some black type when he finished second to Proper Reality in the Arkansas Derby. Illness forced him to the sidelines, and he missed the Kentucky Derby. In the Ohio Derby, Primal, making his first start in nearly 2 months, finished second to Jim's Orbit, despite racing wide most of the trip. In his most recent start, Primal easily defeated Belmont Stakes runner-up King Post by a widening 7 lengths. Today, carrying 117 pounds, 9 less than 49er, Primal is in a prime spot to post the upset as our Budweiser long shot.
And the Budweiser long shot right there. The number 6 horse, Primal, the Bay Gelding. He opened at 5-1, and look at this. He is now 12-1. What a bargain Primal would be. The Tartan stable-owned James Bracken train. Mike Gonzalez is riding. The weather has been a factor here at Monmouth Park. It's been very warm here. In fact, temperatures up into the 90s, very humid on the Jersey Shore. Wondered how that might affect some of the horses, may have concern to some trainers. Well, not to one rider, Kent DeSomo of Private Terms. Doesn't seem concerned at all about the hot weather conditions here at the Jersey Shore, as we talk to Kent DeSomo about hot weather and some hot race riding.
The thing that I like about it is he's a cool, calm, collective horse. He's not one that's going to be out there dancing and prancing and bobbing around, you know, so the heat shouldn't bother him that much. If the speed horses want to get real antsy and hot and bothered and ready to go from dancing and prancing, just being on the bit, the heat may be our favor.
And Private Terms and Seeking the Goal once again are the second choices, both at 5-2. 49er leads the way at 4-5 on the odds board right now. Track conditions are fast as they have been all day today. Just a light breeze blowing down the track. The temperature also seemed to have cooled a little bit. You know, Pete Axum, of course, is known for his sight handicapping abilities. Peter just came here from the paddock area. You might try to check in with him in a bit to get some of his ideas on this field and find out, Pete, who looked good in the paddock, who didn't, who do you like on the racetrack today for the Haskell?
Well, Chris, as I felt for the last month, 49ers jumping out of his skin. Just looks wonderful. Wasn't crazy about the way Private Terms looks, but he's fooled me before. He's not a prepossessing horse. He's not really an eye catcher. On looks, 49er, and on general handicapping, I'm not settling for giving out a 4 to 5 shot. I'm going for an exacta. 49er and Primal.
All right, the axe is giving you the edge, and there they are, the famed Claiborne colors being worn by Lafitte Pinkai Jr., his first ride on 49er. The stakes record, bet twice in 1987 in 147. And the track record, the great Svendebuck, 146 and 4 in 1985. They're at the gate and loading them up now as we go upstairs to get ready to call the Haskell Invitational. Dave Johnson.
And Seeking the Gold is in there, just a little lathered. There's Private Terms. Kent DeSormeau aboard.
One back.
And Primal, our Bud Longshot, who is now 13 to 1. We're ready for the start.
No.
And they're on. A beautiful start, and on the inside, 49er grabs the lead immediately. There goes Seeking the Gold from between horses up into the second spot. Then on the far outside, it's Primal racing third. Private Terms between horses, and Teddy Drone at the rail is the trailer, but gaining now. There goes Teddy Drone with a quick move at the rail into contention. A gutsy performance by Julie Crone as she goes from last to second quickly into the clubhouse turn. 49er with Pinkai leads at 3 parts of a length, and Teddy Drone, the longest shot on the board, takes command. That's Teddy Drone with Julie looking for her 5th victory of the afternoon. In front by a length and 3/4, and 49er is back into second and Seeking the Gold on the outside third. 2 back, then Private Terms along the inside, 4th by a head, and Primal is 5th. The quarter in 24 and 1, half in 47 and 3, and they're tightly packed down the back stretch, and Pinkai is going to go for the lead again, and he gets it by a neck. On the inside, Teddy Drone back to second, and Seeking the Gold, stalking those two on the outside, is right there. Now Seeking the Gold up into second position with Pat Day. Teddy Drone is dropping back. Primal is right there. Third now at this point, and the trailer is Private Terms. 3/4 in 111 and 2, and they're midway on the turn. And the battle on the front end has 49er at the rail, but on the outside, Seeking the Gold puts ahead in front, and here comes Private Terms. 3 of them across the track, and joining them, Private. It's 4 of them across the track. Now Seeking the Gold in front by a head. Along the inside, 49er. Private Terms in the middle of the track, and Primal. And down the stretch they come. Head to head, stride for stride. 49er on the rail. Seeking the Gold on the outside. 16th of a mile to go. Noses apart. 49er and Seeking the Gold. Wow! Oh, what a finish. But I believe it was 49er by a nose with Pinkai. And on the outside, Seeking the Gold was second. What a finish. Last year it was bet twice and Alex Sheehan lost code. This year it was 49er and Seeking the Gold, head and head, stride for stride, nose to nose in a photo finish for the 88 Haskell.
Well, the photo sign is up. An inquiry has been posted. It looked to us out of our position here that 49er might have got just a head in front. We do have, though, a photo sign and an inquiry sign. We're going to take another look here at the stretch run. 2 of the great colors in thoroughbred racing here. Claiborne, the orange on the inside. The Phipps colors, the black and cherry just outside of him. There you see coming up Private Terms and Primal. They're bumping a bit as you see in the stretch here. It looks pretty clean up front where 49er and Seeking the Goal are battling head-to-head. Look at Pinkai just urging 49er on. And on the outside, Pat Day whipping and driving with the right hand as he goes after it. Now watch as we approach the wire. As we slow it down, you take a look, see if you can judge. 49er bobs down, up, down he comes again. Seeking to go close, and it looks like 49er by a nose to us. 49er, the champion 2-year-old. He's trying to stake a claim that he wants to be the 3-year-old champion as well. They were tossing him out after the Preakness. He may be back now. The photo, the inquiry. We have a lot to decide here at the Haskell Invitational. Come right back with us.
See this license plate? It's on the front of every car from the Wayne dealerships on the main line. And it means that the driver of this van is probably a very satisfied customer. Because along with a great car at a great price, people get two things at the Wayne dealerships that aren't easy to find these days. They get courtesy and they get competence. So if you're thinking about a Buick, Ford, or Dodge, see the people at the Wayne dealerships. You'll get courtesy and competence at the sign of the cannon.
After 38 years in business, the owner of Sheffield Furniture is retiring forever. To ensure the continuation of Sheffield Furniture, you'll find phenomenal store-wide savings of high-quality brand-name furniture and bedding. Absolutely nothing's been held back. Sheffield Furniture must sell. You must save. Now's the time to buy. Shop for incredible retirement sell-off prices never before thought possible. Use your Visa and MasterCard, pay cash, or arrange for easy budget terms. But whatever you do, don't miss this fantastic sell-off. Sheffield Furniture. Open daily 10 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 5, Sundays 12 to 5. See you.
Thrifty Car Rental now rolls out a great travel offer with Northwest Airlines. Rent the exciting new Eagle Premier or other luxury class Chrysler cars at Thrifty, and you'll earn a free confirmed first-class upgrade on a future domestic Northwest flight. Then if you buy an Eagle Premier after renting at Thrifty, you get a free companion round-trip ticket on Northwest to Europe. So roll into Thrifty for the Eagle Premier Rent, Buy, Fly Free to Europe offer. For reservations, call 1-800-4CARS.
Since you don't buy a refrigerator every day.
I should have bought a Frigidaire! I finally got a Frigidaire.
Ask for the one that lasts and lasts.
I should have bought a Frigidaire. I finally got a Frigidaire.
For the Frigidaire dealer nearest you, call 1-800-451-7007.
I'll take the Frigidaire. Now.
Frigidaire, here today, here tomorrow.
Lafitte, Pinkai, and 49er come to the winner's circle. The photo sign is down. They have not made it official. The inquiry sign is still up. We really believe that was between Private Terms and Primal because unofficially they posted the order 49er first, Seeking the Goal second, Primal third, and Private Terms fourth. Let's see if we can check in with Pete Axum here, as he's going to try to get a word with Pat Day. Before we do that, though, Dave Johnson's going to give you a closer look at this thrilling finish to the Haskell. Dave?
Let's take a look at the horses. Here is number 2, the eventual unofficial winner, 49er. On the outside in the red cap, that's Seeking the Gold. Then the number 6 cap is the number 6 horse, Primal, and to the outside in the white cap, Private Terms. And Teddy Drone was far back. What a finish with these four, especially the top 2. And watch particularly the outstanding horseman, Lafitte Pinkai, who cuts the corner on the inside and again takes the lead. On the outside, it's Seeking the Gold, and you can see the other 2 horses, Private Terms and Primal, having a bumping match back there before the 8th pole. Coming down to the wire, it proved impossible to run 49er down. Again, the master Pinkai, carrying 126 pounds, Seeking the Gold one less at 125, and this is about as close as they come. What a finish for the Haskell again. 49er by a nose.
There is the official track photo. You see 49er on the inside by a nose, and there is the champion being led off now. The 2-year-old champion. As 49er heads off the track, they have not made it official. The inquiry sign is still up. Again, we believe it's between Private Terms and Primal. There is the happy man, Woody Stevens, the famed Hall of Fame trainer. And meanwhile, Pete Axhelm is got Pat Day down there. And let's go down now to Pete Axhelm in the winner's circle and find out about that wild stretch ride. Pete?
And of course, the first reaction here, any racing fan, this is just a goosebump race. This is to see 2 powerful horses like this run this kind of stretch run. Your feelings during the stretch run?
Well, my horse was digging in and giving everything he had. I knew the 49er's a fighter. He's won a lot of races by nips and noses like that. He just refuses to give up, and I knew it was going to be a horse race from the head of the stretch to the wire, and we just wasn't, we were making up maybe just a little bit every jump, but not enough to get there, and by the time we got to the wire. But it was a super race.
The incident on the first turn, Julie Crone saw that fractions were so slow, spurted up between horses. How much did that hurt you?
Well, I think it cost me the race. I was laying second comfortably. She ran up in there where there really wasn't any room and, had to come off of 49er's heels and hit me broadside, knocked me way out in the middle of the racetrack, at which point my horse got very aggressive and charged right up there, and I had to work to get him to settle. course, then we was head-and-head with 49er, turned up the backside, and we couldn't turn loose at that point, you know. But I feel very certain in my heart, no more than we got beat, that it had a definite effect on the outcome.
A little controversy at the end of a tremendous horse race. Thanks, Pat. Back to you, Chris.
Thank you. It was Seth Hancock, the owner of 49er. What a race.
Well, we've been through these kind with him before, so we're happy to come out on the top side of it for a change.
Seth, you wanted Lafitte Pinkai. You got him. What a masterful ride. He just seemed to hand-ride him there. How much more could he have gotten with the stick?
Not much. 49er's the type of horse that gives his all to you no matter what the circumstances are, and I guess there's no sense to hit him when he's digging with all he's got.
Seth Hancock of the famed Claiborne Farm. They have made it official here at the track. We'll be back to give you the prices when we return to Monmouth Park.
A dream is born. And with care and attention, discipline and freedom, the dream begins to come alive. Share the dream. Let thoroughbred racing come alive for you.
Somewhere, right now, there's a clean, crisp, ice-cold, beechwood aged Budweiser with your name on it.
At this very moment, throughout the world, horses from the Keeneland sales in Lexington, Kentucky, horses such as John Henry, Spectacular Bid, Alleged, The Minstrel, Sharif Dancer, Ali Sheba, and Bet Twice are winning the classic races, making racing history. And it all begins here at the Keeneland sales in Lexington, Kentucky. Source of the classic winner.
It covers 3,000 acres. It includes a 1,200-acre game preserve stocked with trophy, native, and exotic wildlife. More than 1,000 acres of irrigated pastures fed by the Nueces River and Espantosa Creek. Something this big, this unique, could only be offered in Texas. Presenting for sale the Crawford Farms of Carrizo Springs, Dimmitt County, Texas, 115 miles southwest of San Antonio. For those big enough to dream and plan for Texas pari-mutuel racing, Crawford Farms is potentially the finest equine breeding and training facility in the world. Included is a 65,000 square foot indoor arena, along with mare and stud barns and 100 stalls. The centerpiece is this luxurious Spanish-style stucco estate that stretches the length of a football field. Crawford Farms offered at $16 million, including all mineral rights, equipment, home furnishings, art, and gun collections. Brokers will be protected. Crawford Farms, for those big enough to dream.
It is official at Monmouth Park. The inquiry sign is down. 49er is the winner. That time, 1:47.3, is 3/5 of a second off of the stakes record here. 3:60, 2:20, 2:20 for the favorite. Seeking the Goal was second, and Primal, the Budweiser long shot, ran third. Finishing out the order of finish, in fourth was Private Terms. Teddy Drone was fifth. With us, the brilliant Lafitte Pinkai Jr., who finally got his ride on 49er. Lafitte, tremendous ride.
Yes, it was a very tough race. Both horses were trying really hard. It looks like the other horse was going to hit me anytime, but my horse would not give up. He was fighting all the way down the stretch.
You know, we can reflect back on another great moment here, the Island, as we take a look at this stretch drive here. You didn't go to the whip much with him. You really hand-rode him all the way to the wire.
Well, that's right. It's because we were running very close, and I was afraid that he will come out from the whip. I was running a little bit careful not to hit him too hard because I'm afraid that he might come out on the other horse. But I knew that he was trying, and I could feel that he didn't want to let the other horse go by.
And he remembers the Spendebuck and Cardinasco a few years ago in a track record?
That's right. It kind of alike, but Spendebuck that time, the other horse put about a neck in front of me, and he came back and beat him. But it's fun to win races like this, you know, but it's a little bit kind of...
All right. Congratulations. They look good in the Claiborne colors again. Well, it is a great championship moment in racing, this one here today, as the Haskell always seems to provide, but so do the great Breeders' Cup championship moments. Here's one to live back on right now.
Hollywood Park was the stage for an epic battle between Kentucky Derby champions Ferdinand and Ali Sheba in the world's richest race, the $3 million Breeders' Cup Classic. And the champions would battle it out to the wire.
Ferdinand, Jockey on the outside, Ali Sheba. Ferdinand has the lead. Ali Sheba, a final surge. The two Derby winners hit the wire together.
Ferdinand's classic win was his Breeders' Cup championship moment.
When we come back to Monmouth Park, we'll find out about another stakes victory for Woody Stephens right after this.
Not since the legend himself, Secretariat, had there been such a dominating performance in the Triple Crown. Risen Star, Secretariat's first classic winning son, won the Preakness Stakes and then destroyed his peers in the Belmont Stakes in the second fastest time ever in the 120-year history of the race. Upon his retirement from the track, Risen Star will stand here at Walmack International in Lexington, Kentucky. Risen Star at Walmack International, winning the world over.
The Budweiser Gold Cup. The race, known for its fierce competition and rich $500,000 purse, will be run at Illinois' Hawthorne Park on August 27th. Nominate by August 17th to compete in the 52nd running of the Budweiser Gold Cup.
Cash Call, the leading provider of credit card cash to Hawthorne and major racetracks throughout the country, congratulates Hawthorne on their $500,000 Grade 2 Budweiser Gold Cup. Look for the Cash Call logo for all your immediate cash needs. Turfway Park, Florence, Kentucky is racing into fall. Nationally recognized as the most improved thoroughbred track in America, Turfway Park has another $4 million in renovations underway. The stake schedule for the September 8th through October 7th meet has been increased 40%, including 3 $100,000 races. And with overnight purses in excess of $80,000 daily, Turfway Park is the place to race this fall. Join us at Northern Kentucky's Turfway Park, starting September 8th.
Back here with Woody Stephens, and Woody, you watch a finish like this, and of course you can't help but think affirmed in Ali Sheba and bet twice, and in a repeat of last year's kind of race, two horses thundering down the stretch, and of course this 49ers proved it before. When you get past all the pedigree and all the ability and everything else, there's such a thing as heart.
He's a gutsy horse. He always has been, and he'll fight back. He loves that to be another horse with him, because he'll fight him. And I've always felt that way about him, and he rode him just like I told him to ride him. I wanted him that way.
Well, we're looking at the race now, and down the stretch, were you headed to, were you concerned that he wouldn't be able to fight back this one more time?
No, he always has fought back. I said, just bring him on down there.
It kind of makes the business worthwhile when you have one with that kind of heart, doesn't it?
It sure does.
And it makes the business worthwhile when you get to watch a race like this, doesn't it, Chris?
It does. I don't know how this guy stands it. These Haskells have got to take it out of an announcer.
Oh, this brings out the best in racing. Woody gets him cranked up, and Pinkai puts in a performance like that. I can't wait to see this one again on the digest Wednesday evening.
Absolutely. Dave, will now this race change anything in the three-year-old title picture at this point?
Well, I think it alerts everybody that these two horses are going to be dynamite from now through the end of the year, and I wouldn't be surprised to see these two horses take on older horses and beat them.
It ought to be exciting in the Travers then.
Sure.
All right, we're looking forward to that. Want to update also that sword dancer, Akron Germania, winning there, and you've got another big one, the On to Million, coming up in just about 3 weeks for ABC.
It's a great time for thoroughbred racing this summer.
Also want to give you a quick promotion of our next telecast of thoroughbred racing. We'll be at Saratoga, and boy, that's always a tough assignment. 2 weeks from today, Saratoga Springs, one of the great filly races in the thoroughbred business, the Alabama Stakes. Live from Saratoga Springs, New York, 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern. We had 2 amateur riders races here the last 2 days. We will recap those for you on Bruce Casella's Budweiser Thoroughbred Digest show, Wednesdays at 5:30. And I tell you, there's not much more to add than to take a look at this coming down the stretch. The Claiborne Orange on the rail. The Phipps Black and Cherry on the outside. There's the Pete Pinkai, the Cool Master with a hand ride. Pat Day urging, seeking the goal line, whipping and driving there towards the finish line. And it is 49er winning the 1988 Haskell Invitational at Monmouth Park, brought to you by Budweiser, proud sponsor of the U.S. Olympic team. This Bud's for you. By Lanes Inn, sponsor of the Trainer of the Month Award on ESPN's weekly Budweiser Thoroughbred Digest show. by the Thoroughbred Racing Associations, assuring the highest racing standards. Monmouth Park is a TRA member track. And by the Breeders' Cup, racing's $10 million championship. Charts and statistics courtesy of the Daily Racing Form, America's Turf Authority. Accommodations provided by the Berkeley Carteret Asbury Park on the Jersey Shore, where the tradition continues. The 21st Haskell Invitational from Monmouth Park has been won by 49 in a dramatic stretch drive battle with Seeking the Goal. They're the two now leading the way that say, Risen Star, we're coming after your 3-year-old top spot as they battle to the wire. Hope you enjoyed it today. Thanks for being with us from Monmouth Park. So long, everyone.